ladies and gentlemen, the casual fan. I'm just gonna get into it. There's a lot of things I should have been reviewing and discussing on here on my channel before this Andre Ward Kovalev fight, but I've kind of been a little bit busy. So, you probably noticed that through my activity levels on here, but it is what it is. I'll get to Conor McGregor and his Eddie Alvarez fight. I'll get to some of the other fights I've missed, but there's also some other things I wanted to talk about just in general on here. But this was the most anticipated fight for me this year, Kovalev versus Ward, and this is why I'm going to be making this video as soon as possible. So let's get into it. So first of all, before I even talk about what I liked and didn't like in the fight, I want to say a few things. All right. Did I think Andre Ward won the fight? Yes, I do think he won the fight. I do think that Ward won the majority of the rounds, and boy, I gotta tell you guys, this fight was very hard for me to watch. From the moment that bell hit, the bell ring, because I like both of these fighters. I know that a lot of people don't like Kovalev, but I like Kovalev. I like his style. I like him. He's just got a nice I like how he has that subtle ruthlessness to him. I enjoy that. But Ward, he is definitely, I've said this several times, but he's definitely my favorite active fighter. Just everything that he stands for as an individual. I don't understand. If you've seen an interview or just seen him talk, I don't understand how you could look at Ward and say you don't like him. I like Ward a lot, and I think he's a great fighter, and he has a great personality. He's one of those guys that I look to. He's almost like a role model. And so, I just wanted to get that out of the way before I actually started going into the fight. I did think that Andre Ward won the fight. I thought he won the majority of the rounds. However, here's the deal. With the fight this close, in my opinion, I didn't score the rounds. After the fifth round, I just started enjoying myself because Ward, in my opinion, he had won the first after he got knocked down in the second round. He had won those. I thought he won the next three rounds after that, and it was it was like a fresh start again. It was back to being even. So I after that I just stopped scoring it because I started enjoying myself. Both of those guys, they really started feeling themselves. I thought that Ward really did. He definitely showed his championship medal. Just climbing back into the fight. But let's see, there's something else I wanted to say before this is important. All right. So again, even though I thought that Ward won this fight fair and square, in my opinion, the fight was too close to just strip it away from Kovalev. Again, I didn't count the rounds. I thought Ward won, from the eye test, I thought he won the majority of the rounds. But you have to give Kovalev that respect. The man went through, the battles to capture all three of those belts. And, with a fight that close, you're just going to hand it over to Andre Ward. I at least want to see a rematch. I want to see an immediate rematch. I think that Kovalev is owed that much for everything that he sacrificed for this fight. And Kovalev is also one of my favorite fighters. I don't think I mentioned that, but Kovalev is the fucking man. What he's done in the light heavyweight division is nothing. Is just impressive. He's not like fucking Gennady Golovkin, who, Gennady Golovkin, he gets his belts from people that just lay down. You know what I'm saying? He gets his belts from these scums, these scrubs that just don't. Everybody's afraid of him. Kovalev is actually in there with veterans, warriors. Kovalev just came out of a fight with Andre Ward, a guy that Gennady Golovkin was scared to death of. Kovalev beat Bernard Hopkins, a legend in the sport. He beat Jean Pascal. He beat Nathan Cleverly. He's got names on his resume. All right, he's done things. All right, Kovalev, he's been through things to get all of those belts, and I believe that Kovalev deserves the championship respect. Even if he didn't win the fight, he at least deserves a rematch against Andre Ward. Now, again, Andre Ward is my favorite active fighter, but we gotta be fair to Kovalev here. We gotta be fair. No one won this. I I can see anyone arguing for either side. I can see someone saying that Kovalev won this, and I can see someone saying that Andre Ward won this. I guess, you know, it really depends on who you like. I like Andre Ward, so I'm not gonna say that my opinion is biased just because of that. But you know, I like the body work they started doing, you know, down the stretch. I definitely thought that Andre Ward won the later rounds, but again, I just think that a rematch needs to happen. You know, don't disrespect Kovalev like that. That's not, you know, I just you know, the champion should always get that kind of respect. All right, I'm not gonna be a fucking hypocrite. I'm not gonna change my opinion. Like you don't just squeak it out against a champion. You have to go in there and take it. And I'm not saying that Andre Ward didn't do that, but again, Kovalev is owed a rematch, especially when the match is that close. But I would have been fine with the draw. I would have been fine if Kovalev won it. Because again, this was such a close fight; it could have gone either way. Max Carmen put it best. But anyway, so the fight. I really wish I did a pre-fight prediction because I knew going into this that I was telling my friends, like, I think that Andre Ward's gonna get dropped, and it wasn't from what I thought he was going to get dropped from, because if you guys notice, Andre Ward, you know, since he's returned to the sport of boxing, he does have this habit of, like, you know, leaning his head to the right side when, you know, the fight gets stale. I thought that's where he was going to get dropped from, but, you know, Kovalev, he didn't. It was from I can't remember where he got dropped from, to be honest, but it wasn't that. But you know, Sergey Kovalev, you know, his power is real. You know, Sergey Kovalev, I was shocked, I'll be honest with you, with how much of a ring general that he looked. Sergey Kovalev, in my opinion, he looked better when the fight stayed on the outside. Well, at least in the first half of the fight. I mean, the guy comes out there, he's dictating the pace with his jab, very accurate. I was getting worried for Andre Ward because you see me. My thing was this: I love both of these fighters, but I was hoping that whatever happened, both of them looked good. And in the first 2 rounds, Andre Ward didn't look so good, man. Sergey Kovalev came in there. He was dictating the pace. He was the ring general. He was pumping that jab in the face, making Ward go where he wanted to. And I was I was getting worried. But then after that, Ward, after the knockdown round, Ward responded well. Even though he wasn't the champion, he responded like a champion. He gets up, he does what he can to survive that round. Next round he comes, he shows that he's still in the fight, and thankfully he did what I was hoping that he'd do. He forced the fight on the inside. Really, I didn't think that Ward was going to win this fight without getting on the inside, because I mean, with all the range that when Kovalev gets in that nice range that he wants to be, the kinetic energy, and like the power is real. Okay, they call him Crusher for a reason. All right, but thankfully, Ward was able to nullify that with the wrestling. I was a lot more impressed with Kovalev's inside fighting than I didn't expect him to be that proficient with it. All right, I thought that if Ward were to get on the inside, he'd beat him up a lot more. But in the earlier rounds, at least, Kovalev was hanging in there. But of course, as the fight waned, you can tell who had the better stamina. Ward definitely was starting to. The inside tactics of Ward definitely seemed to get to him. It almost seemed like he sapped the punching power out of Kovalev, because of his competing on the inside. Kovalev was really trying to, get his arms free and stuff like that. And, Andre Ward was very intelligent in there. He showed a lot of courage, a lot of bravery. My favorite round, I think, was probably in the eighth, either seventh, eighth. The second round, when, was probably Kovalev's best round. That was my favorite Kovalev round. I mean, Kovalev, he got the knockdown, so I don't know how you can say otherwise. My favorite round for Ward was, I think it was either the 7th or 8th round, when you see Ward really just standing his ground. It wasn't the prettiest fight ever, but it was so mean. And just when you see, it's just, this is a man that just got knocked down, 5 rounds ago or whatever. And you just see him standing there in front of Kovalev, like, what do you got? Just I don't know, that sent chills down my spine. It was very inspiring just to see Ward. Of all the fighters that Sergey Kovalev's been through, you see Ward in there. He looked the most confident out of all of them. He looked like he deserved to be in there. And this is one of those fights where it's just like, both guys, you gotta respect both fighters. All right, that's most important. I don't think that Kovalev right now is pound for pound number 3 behind Roman Gonzalez. No, both of these guys are number 1, number 2 pound for pound fighters. That's it. That's just the bottom line. But man, this was in my opinion, even though it wasn't the prettiest fight, this will definitely go down as one of my favorite fights for this year because of how meaningful it was. And it was intelligent on both sides. I mean, both of these guys utilized their strengths. Kovalev with his strength, and he had. Sorry about that, guys. My mic kind of cut there. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, what I was saying was I thought that Kovalev, he utilized his strength. He utilized his range. I thought he was. At spots, he was definitely, especially in the earlier rounds, he was definitely better on the outside. But Andre Ward, hell of a heart. He got inside. It wasn't as effective in the first half of the fight, but as the fight waned, he just found a way to do it. He'd slip in these body shots that if you weren't really paying attention, you probably would have missed it. Those body shots definitely started taking a toll on Sergey Kovalev as the fight waned. Andre Ward, he gained his confidence. It was a great fight, man. Both of these guys, it's hard to say who was the better ring general in there because both of these guys dictated the pace at certain times. Both of these guys fought. I feel like both of these guys did the best that they could, fighting at the range that they wanted and fighting at the. I do think that Paulie Malignaggi pointed this out. Kovalev could definitely, I've seen him be a better ring general. Like I've seen him cut off the ring before, and I didn't think he did the best job of cutting off the ring with Andre Ward. In fact, now that I think about it, I feel like I wonder what would have happened if Sergey Kovalev got the knockdown later in the fight than earlier. I'm not saying this to slight Andre Ward's victory. Andre Ward did a great, excellent job, but I do feel like maybe if I don't know, maybe the knockdown kind of threw off Sergey Kovalev's game just a little bit because remember after that knockdown you saw Kovalev, he wanted to get Ward out of there, but it is what it is. I'm happy for the results because I love Andre Ward. He's my favorite fighter, but I do think that Kovalev deserves a rematch. And if you disagree, then I think you're a very biased fan. Hell, I'm somewhat biased to a point, but I don't know how anyone with eyes can't tell that this was a very close fight. It was a very close fight. Either guy could have deserved to have their hand raised, and this could have very easily been a draw. But again, Andre Ward, he did his thing, man. I thought he won the fight. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I would love to see a rematch. And SOG, man. There we go. Pound for pound number 1. That's right. Pound for pound number 1. That's what Andre Ward is right now. He's pound for pound number 1. Number 1. All right. This could have been Gennady Golovkin in there, but nah, he's a little pussy. Now my man SOG Ward is on that spot. Let's go. Let's go, champ. All right. All right, Mo. Yeah, I can't wait to see some of these post-fight interviews from Andre Ward, man. It's been a while since he's had some belts. It's nice to see him see some gold around his waist once again. He looked like a real stud when he had all those 3. But let me stop. I'm gonna end this video and just watch the rest of the event. Take it easy, you guys.